May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Well, yeah, I just asked the question. I would ask it of you. What is a woman?
For me personally, I am a woman, and I believe
No, but
that...
what is that? Don't answer the question with the question, like, what is the vocab term woman? Define it.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to another video from Charlie Kirk. Today's video is titled Charlie Kirk Crush Woke Pro Trans Feminist Leftist. So without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, I'm a liberal. I'm Democrat voting. I'm very strong in my beliefs about a certain set. I have a very strong belief in a certain set of principles. I probably disagree with a lot of your principles. I disagree with conservatism and usually right-wing conservative beliefs.
Okay.
The reason I'm here tonight is my son is very right-wing conservative.
You have a very smart son.
And and he doesn't drink. He's only 20, watch it. And the reason that I'm here is because I raised him to believe and think for himself, to look at both sides and come up with his own opinion. And he kind of didn't come up with Bernie, okay, I can live with that, but I absolutely stand behind his right to think what he is free to think. And I don't need to break windows. That's not a model for what I believe in liberalism. There's a lot of liberals who are very upset about that. So my question to you is, in my sense of accepting and loving my son, it's different, he's my family. I also believe, for example, one example is LGBTQ adults, not trans kids. I'm going to get that argument. But LGBTQ adults who are happily in relationships and married, who are behind what they believe in, and it doesn't necessarily coincide with the Bible. It doesn't coincide with two genders. I believe that people have the freedom to express themselves, and they don't want to be in two genders. They have a different point of view because they looked at both sides. They came up and they have the freedom to believe what they want. So how do you, my question to you is, how in your belief of two genders do you accept people who don't believe that?
Well, yeah, I just asked the question. I would ask it of you. What is a woman?
For me personally, I am a woman. And I believe
no, but what is that? Don't answer the question with the question, like, what is the vocab term woman? Define it.
That I align myself as a mother, and what the women in my life and the feminine values of being more relationship-oriented, less competitive, mothering, caring about someone ahead of myself. So those are values that feminist values that I believe in, and I believe I can be a woman. I don't have, I wasn't born with a male body, but I believe that I am a woman based on feminine principles. Those, like those, and those and other feminine principles. Under
your view, somebody can choose to be what they want to be.
Yes.
Okay. Can I be a bobcat?
Well, and more than that argument, I want to get more into
no, this is important.
Your belief.
Let me ask you another question. Can I be whatever age I want to be?
The response to that really is not exactly what my question's about.
Well, you're asking about my view on the LGBT, and I'm getting there. I'm just trying to understand.
And as an example, people who don't believe that there are two genders, just in general,
I know.
who are disagreeing with you.
And you are one of those people, so I'm trying to get to some form of understanding and clarity.
Okay.
So do you think that having agreed upon objective reality on age is important?
Yeah, but that's not within the concept of gender.
Well, but why is that different? Why does reality stop when gender gets discussed?
Because I'm not thinking about people of different ages.
Why not? So, well, if a 30-year-old thinks he's 14, he should be able to have sex with a 12-year-old, right?
Wow.
No, this is more about gender.
Well, no, hold on.
Well, but I have a limit.
But gender is where does that limit come from, and why do you believe in the limit for age but not for biology?
Because I feel that gender is an aspect of somebody they can believe in being able to be in more than one gender. I don't believe that age falls into that. I believe this is more about a gender that people are able to choose.
You're saying, though, that gender is a personal feeling or belief that somebody has about their existence. Regardless,
yes, within gender, there's some things that they don't, like being an animal or being 90.
Right, but the moral premise of that is that your biology, your chromosomes, do not dictate your reality, correct?
I don't know. Do I have to know the answer to that in order to honor the fact that somebody else believes that they are choosing to be a woman?
Let me tell you why and what I believe.
Do I have to agree with that?
Well, not a matter of agreeing.
In order to be able to identify
gender. You can have whatever opinion you want, but the truth is what I'm trying to articulate. It doesn't matter what you believe. Somebody is born a man. They don't stop being a man if they appropriate womanhood. If I wore blackface right now, I don't become black. If a man decides to all of a sudden dress in a dress, he doesn't become a woman, nor should you force other people to reaccommodate society. If they want to think that in their private time or in their own mind, it's kind of weird and strange, I guess, go ahead and do it. But that's not the debate we're having in America right now. The debate we're having, and I'd love your final thoughts on this, is a biological man is able to compete against biological women in NCAA sports and win the national championship in swimming. Do you think that's fair?
I don't think that's not part of my personal beliefs. Okay, so let's maybe just go for gay and lesbian couples who are successful. I mean, just because I really want to know the answer, and I kind of know where that's headed, and I don't agree about men playing in women's sports or...
Hey, we agree on that. So
yeah, so I agree with that.
You understand that the liberals that you identify with call you a bigot for that belief, right?
Not the liberals that are my friends, and not all liberals believe that.
Yeah, that's shocking. I'd love to meet them. So, secondly, though, on the other part,
they're all in their 60s.
But let me,
my friends.
On the LGBT thing, and I want to get to as many questions as possible.
Yeah.
What does somebody's own personal sexual orientation have to do with lumping in a bunch of letters with somebody that is suffering from gender dysphoria? Those are two separate issues. Don't you think we should divide them?
No, I think that there are people who have healthy homosexual relationships who identify that way, who aren't in favor of some of the gender
You misunderstood
problems.
the question. What I'm trying to say is that for a while it was gay activism, and now it's LGBTQIA+. It just keeps on growing, and this kind of social contagion of left-wing activism. Let me just tell you my position very clearly. Okay, everybody's made in the image of God. That's my first premise. We all have a soul. You could disagree with that. The American founders believed every single human being had a soul, and that is a fact. I believe that marriage is an institution and a tradition that should be between one man and one woman. Marriage, in an ideal world, the state would have a limited role in that, but I don't believe that diluting or destroying the institution of marriage or the vocabulary or the truth behind it does it any justice for anybody. And you must understand what a word means and what is the purpose of that word. And having been married, I can understand that marriage is about opposites getting along to do something bigger than themselves. The big issue in the gay marriage debate, and some conservatives disagree, is that you don't have two opposites. You have two alikes that are coming, two people that are alike coming together. That's not what marriage is. You could call it something else. That's not marriage. In fact, I think it actually destroys and diminishes the beautiful institution of...
So there should be two genders.
Correct. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that a child, when they're born, should be raised in a certain mold, or do you think that child should be able to determine what gender it is as it grows up?
I think that child should be allowed to determine what gender that they define by.
So if a child is born with an XY chromosome as a male, you shouldn't raise that as a son. You should allow that child to discover whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay, that's you and I.
They should be allowed to define themselves and define who they want to be seen as.
Okay, so do you think there's differences between men and women?
Yes. There are biological differences between men and women.
But so then what would you would say to a child that's born, you're not going to raise it as a son or as a daughter, you allow it to discover itself. So sons should be allowed to have dolls, whatever, and whatever happens.
Yes. Are you saying that men should not be allowed to have Barbie dolls?
I did not say that whatsoever, but I'm saying there's certain character attributes and traits of how young men should be raised and how young ladies should be raised.
You are defining that women should be raised in one way and men should be raised in another.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yes. Men should have to restrain themselves from the physical proclivity. Men should to be gentlemen, to never use force unless absolutely necessary. Men should have to mature over a long period of time, to not indulge in their Darwinian proclivity to hurt, to harm, to hunt. And women who are more biologically likely to be nurturers and caretakers should be taught to be ladies from a young age. That's biologically consistent.
Sew and stay at home.
No, if women want to do something different, that's fine. However, the data shows when men and women are presented with equitable choices, women are much more likely to. Oh, you should send that to Venezuela. They don't have that there. When men and women around ages 6 and 18 are given the option of what kind of majors they want to study, women tend to go towards early childhood education, nursing, so on and so forth, and men tend to go towards business and finance. Men and women have biological differences.
Because of the way that they were raised.
No, that you and I completely disagree. It's because of the DNA chromosomal structure that is inherent in who they are.
Then why would you have to mold it?
I'll take one.
Sorry, girl.
Wait,
Sorry.
what is the toilet
Thanks, I need to
paper?
whip my ass.
Oh, naturally, if that's naturally just going to happen, why would you do it?
Can I see some toilet paper? I'm running low.
If
They have a predisposition towards a certain behavioral pattern, but goodness must be taught.
Well, goodness must be taught. I mean, goodness is goodness.
Well, no, I mean, people are broken by nature. You must teach a child to stop crying, or to stop lying, or to
People
stop
are broken
manipulating.
by nature?
Yes.
So you're going by the religious aspects that when
Of original sin, yes, because data supports it. And, child
So is this a
psychology.
religious thing?
No, I am an evangelical Christian if you want to ask me, but it's a purely secular argument.
Okay, but by stating the argument that people are born in sin, then that is a religious argument and that is outside of politics, and politics and religious things should be separated.
Again, so you asked, is it an original sin argument? Yes. People are predisposed towards doing bad by their nature. Why do we have to teach kids to stop crying?
What science backs that up?
Child psychology. Jordan Peterson. You laugh? Yeah, one of the most noted. He published. Yeah, he taught at Harvard. He taught at some of the top schools across the world, and now he's being ostracized because he talks that men and women are different, which is now a radical notion in our university system. Men are better at some things than women, and women are better at some things than men.
What things are men better at?
Lifting heavy objects. Women are better caretakers and nurturers. Women are more organized. Women mature earlier.
Dude, I'm a way better nurturer than my sister. I work with kids. Holy shit.
There are always exceptions to the rule, but the rule exists
Then
for a
there's no
reason.
rule.
So the top.
There cannot be exceptions to a rule because the rule doesn't exist.
No, that's not this. You have the rule, which is a generally true on the aggregate, but you always have things that are outliers to the data trend. Always. So when you say that men are typically better physically positioned than physically gifted than women, that's true. I mean, you look around.
I'm sorry. Say that again?
That men are usually stronger physically than women, that is true. The data supports that. Are there women that are stronger than men? Of course. That's an exception to a rule. That's called an outlier to data.
How is that a naturally better then?
I'm not saying better. I'm not saying one sex or gender is better than the other. They're different.
I can see your point. I can see that men do have more testosterone.
Oh, okay.
So they are
That's what I'm
stronger.
saying. So there's differences.
Yes, but
Therefore, men are better at certain things than women, and women are better at certain things than men.
I totally agree with Charlie. There are so many things men are better than women, and there are several things women are way better than men. That is why when it comes to profession, women go for profession that require more of emotion, instead of more of physical strength. And like based on what Charlie said, there are exceptions to that, but that is the pattern both gender have followed for centuries. Charlie asked us a simple question that if you will give birth to our children, should you let them decide for themselves? Because there are several ways in which we have been trained. As a man, if your dad is around, there are several things he teach you. As a woman, your mom teach you several things too. How to nurture. Take care of things, be there. Like, they teach you more of things with emotion. And your dad teach you things, that does not require emotion. They prepare you for the world out there. They prepare you. They let you know that, yes, the world out there is not safe. So as a man, you need to be there for your family, fend for your family, and be the provider of your family. Especially in African home, we have been taught from day one that help is not going to come from anywhere. So the little time you have, make sure you make good use of it, Be ready to put in the work, be ready to put in the sacrifice. Whatever you do, make sure your family comes first. That is how we have been trained, to take care of our home, to take care of our family. That is it. And women have been trained differently, You're there to be there for your husband, be there for your children and all. And they are not in any way preventing women from giving out their best or preventing men from giving out their best. They're only telling you there are specific traits, specific characters that are, that women exhibit and do it perfectly well. And there are several things men do, and they are very perfect at it. So it shows it shows the difference between both gender. When you have a woman and a man being married, this person is weak in this aspect of life. This person is active in this aspect of life. When they come together, they can help each other. But when a man and a man get married, there is nothing in between to, it's like they are just the same. And that is where the generation ends, except maybe you want to adopt a child or something. Well, because I know that a man and a man cannot produce a child, and a woman cannot produce a child, except if you choose to adopt, or maybe you donate your semen, or you become a surrogate mother. Apart from that, the both of you coming together cannot produce another life. And I think that is what life has always been about, when opposite gender come together, they create another life. But when same gender come together, you don't create. That is where the generation end. Anyway, this is a beautiful one coming from Charlie. I love this and I want to see more videos like this. If you have any recommendation, let me know in the comment section. If you want to see more videos like this, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I remain blessed.